Hello, welcome back to Math Time with Professor Prime, and I'm your host as always, Professor Prime. Let's talk about math and chemistry. Just to be clear, we're not talking about my chemistry with math, although I do like that. I think it's awesome. Okay, so assuming that bad joke that I don't regret hasn't lost you or hasn't made you, just click off the video, I want to talk about math and chemistry for a bit. Now, I've talked about different elements of chemistry in different videos, but I wanted to specifically talk about it here, right? When we're dealing with chemistry, we're dealing with this idea of matter, right? And its properties and its behavior and how matter is interacting with other matter, among other things, right? And I dig that. And at the end of the day, it's math, right? Because it's like it's really cool, right? Because let's say we're dealing with just atoms to start with, which makes sense to me. We could go into subatomic particles, but that's a whole another thing. But if we start with atoms, right, we have the idea like, hey, we have these elements. We have things that, in theory, can't be broken down further, but that's again a whole another thing. But the idea is that they're building blocks of life, sure, but also the universe and how they interact with one another. Math, right? There's math in the atoms, what they are, how they function, how they flow, how they can be built up. And then, you kick it to that idea of molecules, different chemical compounds. It's like there's math in that and the elements that they're composed of and how they interact with one another. And then you keep on building and building and building, right? Because we take ourselves, for instance. It's like we have our bodies and how they operate, how they function, how they flow. And we have a lot of biology, a lot of physics, a lot of chemistry, a lot of math. And what's going on inside of our bodies? Like, it's like, well, there's so much going on inside of our bodies. It's like, take blood, for instance, what that is, how it's formed, how our body produces it, right? There's math at every conceivable level, how it functions, how it flows, just on a purpose level, but literally how it flows, right? What it does, what it carries. There's math and all that, and that's all chemistry, biology, physics. It's all of those things. And that's just literally in us, but it goes harder than that, right? Because the world exists outside of us. Same with the universe. And when you look at our planet, what it's composed of, and all these different chemical interactions that are taking place at any given moment, is math across the board. And I think that's really cool. And I think about something like water, for instance, and just how versatile it is. Think about water, what it's composed of, what it does, the fact that at certain temperatures it's going to freeze, it's going to become that solid. At certain temperatures, it's going to, become steam. And I think that's cool. Because it's like just in what those things are and how we use them, but just how it all comes about. And there were better ways to describe how or what I wanted to say. But my point is something with water, like water, something that's plentiful, right? There's so much that it does. And at the end of the day, it's math, it's chemistry, it's biology, it's physics, how it all works, how it all operates, how it all functions. Chemistry is something that's pivotal. It's something that, we're dealing with at any given moment, whether we put a name to it or not. But I like the idea that we can study it. We could study how things in the universe interact with each other and what they're made of, right? We're dealing with all these different forms of matter, all these different substances, and it's cool that we've been able to say something about them over time, and that we continue to do so. Now, I do wish, like chemistry, like a lot of sciences, I wish that was more accessible on that academic level, right? Because again, whether we put a name to it or not, right, we're dealing with chemistry every conceivable moment. Even my ability to speak these words to you right now, there's a lot of chemical processes that are, working together to allow me to do that. And I think that's cool. And so it's just like I want to be like able to see stuff like that, be more accessible on an academic level. Because right, for a lot of people, as far as chemistry goes on that academic level, a lot of people they probably stop dealing with it as a specific subject in high school, right? But of course, it comes up in everything, one form or another. So it's just like I want to see more like that direct nature because like we've realized so much over time, And it's like it would be nice to see that be more readily available to people. And I feel that way not only with chemistry but physics, biology, and of course this won't shock you, math as a whole. But my whole thing is like there's so many things that you can say about chemistry, right? This video definitely does not sum that all up because the universe is a big place full of so many things. Um, and so I want you, if you're up for it, to share something about chemistry that you find cool, or something about math that you find cool, or something that deals with math and chemistry in a way that you identify and you're like, hey, I see this now, or that you've seen before that you find cool. That being said, I'll see you in the future. Professor Prime out.